Oh, then again. Hello. Um, Welcome. If I can find what I'm looking for, I'll be able to actually say hello properly. Hello, and welcome. I am Kevin, and I'm going to be doing my. What am I going to be doing? Let's see. First of all, let me check my audio's come through. Well, I'm going to be looking at my Adventive code for day 10. This is day 10 of Adventive code. But I haven't looked at the puzzle at all today, and I'm going to set myself a timer of 50 minutes to see how far I get. When we do these kinds of puzzles and these times, they're really helpful because although they aren't real life, they do sometimes give us practice with bits of our coding and bits of our using different data types and different structures in a really structured way to know if it's right or wrong and to test different things out. But we live in a time restricted world. And so, as we add a 50-minute timer, this is hopefully slightly realistic about how far you might be able to get if you've got 50 minutes. You could probably get further than me, but this is how far I can get in 50 minutes. Often I'll do 50 minutes and then I will see how far I get. And if I don't finish it later on in the day, I might nip back, having had time for my brain to rest and have a go at there. So, with that being said, let's nip over here. Let's get a timer set up for 50 minutes and let's go. Where will I put it? I'll put it here. I think this is probably the least annoying place to put it. Alrighty, so first, before I do anything else, I know I'm going to need a file called day10.js. I know I'm going to need a 10-test. I know I'm going to need a 10-input. Alrighty, let's have a look at the puzzle for day number 10. So this is Advent of Code. Every year they put out this series of puzzles, normally about Elf. I've managed to get to day 10 this year. I don't often get past day 12, so let's see how we do. Okay, we avoid the rope. So last puzzle was about a rope that was swinging across a river. You avoid the ropes, plunge into the river, and swim to shore. The elves yell something about meet back up with them up river, but the river is too loud. Exactly what they're saying. They finish crossing and disappear. A situation like this is why they prioritize the communication system. There are some of the earlier puzzles about that. You pull it out of your pack, but the amount of water slowly draining from a big crack in the screen tells you it probably won't be of most immediate use unless you can design a replacement for the device's video system. It seems to be some kind of cathode tube ray tube. I used to have one of those for my back in the 80s. And simple CPU, they're driven by a precise clock circuit. The clock circuit ticks at a constant rate. This makes me think I'm going to need modular arithmetic, but we'll see. Each tick is called a cycle. Start by figuring out the signal being sent by the GPU. So the CPU rather. The CPU has a single register X, which starts with the value of 1. It only supports 2 instructions. Add X V takes 2 cycles to complete, and after 2 cycles, the X register is increased by the value of V. V can be negative. No op takes 1 cycle. It has no other effect. The CPU uses these instructions in a program. This is your puzzle input. I assume this is our test input, so I'll whack that in there. At the start of execution, the no op instruction begins execution used during the first cycle. X is 1. After the first cycle, the no op instruction finishes, nothing. At the start of the second, add X is 3. Begins execution during the second cycle, X is still 1. During the third cycle, X is still 1. After the third cycle, the 3 instructions finish executing. At the start of the fourth, the add X negative 5 begins. During the fourth cycle, X is 4. Okay, I can kind of see that. We can learn about looking at the value of X register throughout the execution. For now, consider the signal strength, which is the cycle number multiplied by the value of the X register. Ooh, yuck. During the 20th cycle and the 40th cycle after that, okay, this is actually the test input. This is a bit more disgusting. Okay, let me grab this for the test input. So as it goes, there's 2 things that we're keeping track of. We're keeping track of the value of the X register, which I'll just call X, which initially starts at 1, and we're keeping a value of the cycles, which I think starts at 0, but we'll see in a sec. Is that right? No op starts it, so after the first cycle, the no op begins during the first cycle. X is 1. After the no op starts the second. Yeah, okay, so X equals 1. Right. That all happened during the 20th cycle. X is the value of that, 20 by 21, okay. And so at some point we want to do like the signal strength. We're saying the signal strength is X times the cycle. That's what I think that's what that's saying. And we want it to happen on the 20th, 60th, 100th, 140th. It says, find the signal strength during the 20th, 60th, 100th, 140th, 180th, and 200 cycles. Okay, interesting. What is the sum of these signal strengths? So these are the ones we want. So sum of signal strength. So we could do, we probably have a function for get signal strength. And that's going to be return X times cycle. Probably better than that. Okay, so the actual answer for the test input is this. Okay. So this is the test result. Okie doke. So let's get our data. We'll just use the same code. All I'm doing is I'm using read file sync from Node.js, which is literally just reading the file synchronously before it does anything else. And then I'm using 10 test data, and then I will just console log the data to make sure that I am reading the right thing. So node 10. Cool. Alrighty. So the two instructions that we're following are no op. So no op increases the cycle by 2, increases cycle by 2, by 1, and does nothing to the register. And then add X increases the cycle by 2 and then increments the register. Oh. Right, I'm going to need to pause because I've got someone coming to fix my heating, so I need to disappear. That's annoying. Okay, so I can kind of see where I'm going to go. I'm going to have a function for no op. What am I? I'm going to iterate over the instructions, and then I'm going to check for no op. When it's the 20th, 60th, 100th, 140th, 120th, I'm going to test to get the result, and which is the sum of each of those. And once I've done that, that's hopefully going to be the answer. So that was 15 minutes of an introduction to this problem. I feel like I've set up what I'm going to do. I've got some idea of how it's going to go. I'm not going to stream the rest of this, unfortunately, but I will stream tomorrow, so I'll try to do the 50 minutes again tomorrow. In the meantime, I'll pop the solution, and hopefully it'll be helpful for someone or not. Oh, that was shorter than I was hoping, but I hopefully will catch you again soon. Bye.